what is one of the calls that you wish people don't make for 911?
The people calling, they don't have electricity. Call the right party. Call Hydro-Québec. My phone is not working. Call your phone provider. I need a rendezvous for my family doctor. Go on Click Santé. I need a phone number of that. Go to the Yellow Pages. It's not 911. We're not information center. We're emergency center.
Hey, Bessie, it's your favorite caffeinated, medicated, and never hydrated nurse. It's Nurse John, and welcome back for another week of your favorite therapy podcast. I beg your pardon. Bestie, I miss you so much. And guess what? We got another week together, another week of therapy, conversation, gossip as Bestie, baby. Sit down, relax wherever you are right now, at home, at work, doing chores, cleaning poops and peas, and whatever you are right now listening. I just want you to know, Bestie, that I love you so much. Thank you for what you do, and I am thankful that you are here listening right now. I'm thankful that you exist, and I hope you are happy and things are going well in life. And remember, if not, there's always another day to get it together. As long as you don't give up on yourself, that is the most important thing. And remember, you got to practice self-love, and to be able to practice self-love, you need some self-care. And self-care can be anything that makes you happy. That could be going out, going shopping, chilling with your friends. It could be you buying a bottle of wine in moderation, of course, and doing anything that will make you happy. And again, after you've taken care of your most important patient, which is yourself, then you can give those love to somebody else. But unless otherwise your cup is filled and overflowing with self-love and self-care, you shouldn't be sharing that with anyone else. Bessie, before we continue, do me a quick favor, and if you're listening right now, make sure that you download this episodes and the other episodes that you have not listened to. Make sure that you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Turn on that notification so that you receive the new updates whenever a new episode comes out. Share it and follow us on Instagram too at I Beg Your Pardon. There's a double R, I'm pretty sure, on the I Beg Your Pardon Instagram handle. And Bestie, leave us a 5-star review so we can keep sharing this podcast to everyone else. And now you're probably wondering what keeps me energized every single day, because I have been doing everything and the most. I've been flying for work and working as a clinical instructor and doing other stuff in life. What keeps me awake and energized is none other than Rice Fuel. RYSEFUEL, Rice Fuel. And me and my guest for today, actually, she already cracked her Rice Fuel open, and apparently she loves it. And one of my favorite right now is Kool-Aid. This just reminds me of childhood. So let me crack one open for you.
Sounds like a beer.
I know. That's insane. The feeling of opening a beer. But this one is an energy drink. So if you ever want to get yourself some Rice Fuel, you can go to Google and type Rice Fuel Locator, and you can find the nearest one to you. Actually, I would never thought I would find one here in Canada, but they are starting to go everywhere. I actually found one in a gasoline station next to my place. So now I'll be drinking this every single day. So cheers, Bessie. Cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. So good. So good, so good, so good, so good. I love this Kool-Aid flavor. All right, Bessie, I'm pretty sure you're probably wondering who is our guest for today. Well, I have invited another part of the healthcare system. They're the first people to also respond in emergency situation. These people are the people that we go to if we don't know who to ask for help, or we need an immediate help and we cannot, or we don't know who to contact to. They are the 911 dispatcher. Well, presenting to you, Tamara.
Hi.
Hi, Tamara.
How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for coming into the podcast.
My pleasure. It's my morning off from my kids.
It's your morning off from your. Oh well, first of all, she is a mom too.
Mom of two.
Mom of two. Oh my God, you're doing it all. First of all, just being a mom is such a hard job. It's a 24/7 job, and
Unpaid.
unpaid too. And all you get is kisses and love. And honestly, that's
They're
the best.
so worth it.
It's so worth it. Like coming home from a shitty shift and seeing your kids,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, this is all.
When
This-
they come, we're not screaming, we're not fighting. Yes.
Yes.
When I come from a job and I had a birthday, there
Yeah.
was so many calls, and I come home and there's more screaming. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and it's gonna take a long time.
It's gonna take a long time. I'm gonna sit there, cry or scream or anything
Just
like
be
that.
quiet. Sometimes when I ride home, I'm just gonna be in the car, no radio on, just silence.
That's me as a nurse.
That's just silence.
That's what we do.
Just crack a window to hear the wind.
Yeah.
Or if it's morning, I crack all the windows and put them down. Doesn't matter what temperature is outside. I'm gonna keep awake.
I
But,
feel you.
yeah.
I feel you. Sometimes you just need that zen, that quiet, that peace from the job, because I can't imagine answering phone calls. So I'm such a bad texter and phone answerer, if you say that way. Like, I hate answering phone calls. I hate having conversation in phones. Imagine you who does it for a living. It's crazy. Well, before we head to that, tell us all about you. Like, we want to get to know you more.
Well, I'm from Croatia.
Croatia.
Croatia in Europe, if some people don't know where that is.
The
'cause
Balkans.
Balkans. Sometimes I say, well, it's ex-Yugoslavia. I'm Serbian from Croatia. And when I say Serbian, they were like Siberian. I was like, not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
So, yeah, arrived here in Canada in 2000. Didn't speak any French, any English. Well, basic English, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. But, yeah, and started from there, school. My dad still 24 years later still doesn't speak any French or English, which is hard because my boyfriend is Quebecer. But my dad doesn't speak any of it. So.
I mean, like, that's the immigrant parent life.
Yeah.
My mom speaks English, but she speaks a little French. But it's still pretty hard, like, communicating with fluent French speaker, or when she talks to someone who speaks super fast English, she still has a hard time.
Oh, and when the papers comes from government, every time he comes over, he brings me stuff to read him and tell him if it's important or not, or who to call, or fix stuff.
Fix that. That's what the parents do every time. They're like, listen, can you fix this for me?
He just gives my phone number to everybody to call me. Like, he doesn't know what they wanted, so call my daughter. He gives them my phone number, and then I get random calls.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That is the funniest thing ever. So you came from Croatia and you arrived here in 2000. And from that, do you have any siblings or?
No, I'm the only child.
Me
my
too.
Mom died when I was 4. She had lupus.
She had lupus.
Yeah, and we were in a country with war and stuff like that. And she find out there was active when she was pregnant.
Oh my God.
Probably the pregnancy activated it, because it can be dormant or it can be activated. But she didn't want to terminate the pregnancy, so organs start to shut after.
Right.
Yeah.
That must be really, really hard.
For me, I was a child that didn't know anything, and I lived my whole life basically with no mother. I had my aunts and my grandma that stepped in, that I'm very close to. Also, my cousins. It's like my brothers and my sisters. I don't call them my cousins. It's my brother and my sister.
That's me too. Because again, like, I grew up without a dad. And so I grew up with just a mom. So, like, opposite from you. And my cousins were my brothers and sisters. And my aunts and my uncles were my kind of like dads and like stepmothers.
My grandma raised me. And just with my boyfriend, let's say he's from here, his parents are here, cousins are here. Grandma was in Trois-Rivières. So I was like, you didn't go to see your grandma like in 3 weeks. He was like, yeah. I'm like, let's go see her. Let's go have a breakfast. I'm like, yeah, but my parents, why don't you just go without your parents? I wish I could go and see my grandma like every day and call her every day, but it's not possible. And now she passed a year ago, but
I'm so sorry.
she was
She was
1933, so it was like 80.
80 something.
88, 89, something. She was old.
So you grew up with just your dad, basically, from
Dad
Peru.
and my grandma.
Did you guys all immigrated here?
No, my grandma stayed there, came here with my dad. And then my dad found a job and we moved to Montreal.
That
And I
must be
went-
really hard for him too, because Saint Jerome, it's like a part of Montreal. Well, I think it's
North Shore.
outside North Shore of Quebec, where it's most like 80% of it is French. The 20% is the Anglophone and Francophone who speaks the both language, but usually it's mostly French. So it must be really hard for your dad to be able to communicate to a lot of people.
He didn't really communicate.
Oh, he didn't communicate.
No, he paid me $20 to do his homework because they had to go to the French school.
Yeah.
I paid me $20 to do his homework. So yeah,
Oh
I was
my
like,
God,
yeah,
that's
sure.
So
But we had people from our community, Croatians, Serbians, Bosnians, whatever. They heard that we were coming, so they came to meet us at the hotel.
that's really sweet.
And we made a communication, and that's how my dad found the job in his field, working for the person that is Croatian here in Montreal.
Growing up as a teenager, what was your first jobs like?
McDonald's. I loved it.
Oh my God.
I was harassing them to hire me. It was so funny. I go there, they say they're hiring, fine. I give them my CV, and we'll call you in a week. Week passed, they don't call. So I go back. It's like,
Right.
You didn't call me. I was like, we'll call you. I was like, I'm waiting. And another week passed, they don't call. I was like, listen, are you gonna call me or not? I was like, when can you start?
Oh,
And I
that's
stayed
so-
there for 5-6 years, I think.
5-6 years.
Yeah,
What
and we were like
age?
a whole group
Mhm.
from my school working there. So we would go from school in the same bus together to go work. We did overnights. It was so fun.
Oh my God. What age did you start working in McDonald's?
16.
16.
I really wanted to buy myself girl clothes because my
Oh.
dad would bring me to a clothes store and he would go in the boys section and like take the jeans. Oh, like, these are good, Tamara. I like these. I was like, yeah, Dad, there's a boy. I was like, doesn't say on it. Just take these. These are really good. Like,
Oh my God. It's
I just
so,
wanted to buy my own clothes.
you know what? To be honest, I wish I've had that kind of like, I guess, experience with the dad, because I've never had. My mom was pregnant and my dad left that time. So I'd
Mhm.
never really had that father figure. But you probably didn't like that growing up, in a sense that you were just getting all this super masculine things and like
I couldn't ask him to go buy a bra. It's not a conversation. So I had to wait for my pay to go freaking buy a bra.
Oh my God. Like you said, yeah, you had to grow up by yourself. You had to figure out all the womanly things, the womanhood by yourself.
Oh,
Because
there was no birds and the bees talk. There was no menstruation talk. There was none of that.
so would you say that growing up you have some issues or things that you develop because of growing up without a mom, or like growing up with a dad who's very strict?
The only time I missed her presence is
Mhm.
when I started having kids.
Right.
All my other friends said their mom brought them soup. They do the laundry while they were recovering. And I had none of that. There were so many times I cried in the shower. I cried during the breastfeeding night. And
Oh.
I was so sad. But then I was like, there's nothing I can change there.
Right.
Yes, I miss her. And now I realize how much I miss her.
Right.
My dad, he doesn't cook. He doesn't clean. He's not going to come do my laundry.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the moment I felt really devoid,
Right.
not having a mom.
I kind of understand what you're trying to tell now. Like that sense of like, I wish I've had a support when I was going through one of the most hardest time of my life, which is like giving birth and raising my first ever kid without any support but my boyfriend. So going back to after McDonald's, did you had another job?
I did. I worked at New Look.
New Look.
Eyewear.
Oh, was it like a New Look is the eyewear.
Eyewear.
The sunglasses and prescription
Oh, wait.
glasses.
In between that, I worked at the clothes store, Laura.
Laura
Laura.
clothes store.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of customer service. Me
A
too.
lot.
I did A&W, Burger King, Tivana, a lot of those customer service. And I think that's why I end up becoming a nurse. Because I just love helping people.
I love helping people. I'm very manual with my hands. I like to build stuff and fix stuff. But yeah, I went in school for business when I got the BA. But yeah, the jobs getting there are really, you need to do marketing door to door. I don't want to do marketing door to door. I want to
Right.
do research. So yeah, I was like, well, I'm going to start something else. And I almost enrolled in Army before going to CJIP. It was Army and then both envelopes were filled up. And then I mailed the CJIP one. I like airplanes, but my glasses, I'm very high prescription and I'm limited.
Right.
So yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm gonna do this and I will see if I switch for something else. Start general. So yeah, I didn't switch. Just finished it.
And what brought you to the 911?
So I worked in customer service and then somebody told me that I should go on Montreal website, city website,
Right.
and that they have jobs. They are good jobs that you get the fond pension. I don't know how the pension,
pension.
stuff like that.
Like a good benefits.
Yeah, good
and-
benefits and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw a posting for 911, the operator, and I was like, oh. And they only ask secondary 5.
Did you just apply and you're like, you know what? Let
yeah,
me just take.
applied.
You just take on the
I
job.
just applied. And there's a regular procedure to go through when you get selected.
Did you need to have like a mental health test or anything like that?
You get a couple of tests, even physical tests.
Mm-hmm.
So physical tests, typing tests,
Right.
French tests, and like psych test. They
Like
give you a couple of questions and you just need to answer the first thing that comes to your mind or encircle the good answer to you. Like
Exactly.
what this flower means to you.
Like
yeah.
it's a psychiatric test to
To see the personality. you have.
personality test almost. Yeah, exactly. And you passed like the first time.
Everything
you did
is eliminatory.
eliminatory.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you pass one test. If you don't pass it, you're done. If you pass, you go to another one.
And you've passed all of them.
Yeah.
Amazing. You were made
And at
for
the
it.
same time, I started chatting with my boyfriend now. Well, been 10 years. But we started and he's police officer.
Oh, wait a second.
And
Wait,
my
is
best friend.
is he a
one
police
of my
officer?
yeah.
Look at you. Look at you dating a
But
police
we don't work at the same city though.
Okay, I was like dispatching
I
your
couldn't
hubby.
be.
Daddy, there's a dispatch. in
I couldn't be working for him. Oh my God, that would be not good.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
And one of my friends was police officer also. She's a
Mhm.
godmother of one of the children. So yeah, I'm around that area of work a lot.
Exactly. Did you meet him from
Oh no, we met on Tinder.
you?
Tinder.
Wait, Tinder.
Tinder.
Oh,
10 years ago to children later.
Wait, how long is
Tinder.
how long is Tinder now? It's
Does
been
it still exist?
yeah.
It does. I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually being advertised so like often now. But like Tinder.
Tinder.
Oh,
He hates when I say it. I just love it. It's so funny.
Hey, listen, he met the most beautiful and amazing wife and mother to his children
Mhm.
on Tinder. So he better
It's a
not say
jackpot.
nothing.
He hit the jackpot.
He hit the 1 million jackpot. He got it. He got it right. So you guys met before you become a 911 dispatcher.
I was in the process.
You were in the
I
process.
was in the process.
And he was already a police officer.
Yeah.
Amazing. Did he put in his bio a police officer?
No, because the Tinder links with your Facebook, and we had some people in common, and it was my friend and her partner.
Okay.
So of course I went to her and asked her everything before
"Girl-
ever going on a date.
Girl, tell me more about this
And then I
man.
pretended I'd heard it for the first time. I'm like, I'm not gonna meet this psychopath.
Makes sense. You gotta be safe than
Yeah.
sorry.
So she told me he's a good guy and everything. So I went ahead on first date and then second date, and
Everything works out
Yeah.
pretty well. Oh, that's amazing. So how long have you been a 911 dispatcher now?
10 years in May.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for your service. You have been serving.
Feels
Our-
like 20 now.
I, I know. The amount of emotional and mental stuff, 25, maybe 80, you know? But thank you so much for your service. You've been helping us, the community, for a decade.
hmm
Wow.
When you put it like that, I feel so old.
I know. Yeah, when you say a decade, kind of like, oh my God, I've been living for like ages. I've been working
It's
for ages. But
passed
no, a
by so fast.
decade, it's such a good thing to know though that you've lasted that long in a job that requires you to be physically, mentally, and emotionally strong.
Sharp.
And again, I think your childhood and what you went through prepared you for this.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like crying about like the things that you've went through childhood, you're like, well, you know what? It's a blessing. Look at me now. I lasted for 10 years. I I could never imagine
But I have
how.
friends that say, "Oh, do they hire at work?" I was like, "Yes, but you're not made for this work. No, I don't see you there. You're not gonna survive."
Did you see yourself being a 911 dispatcher?
No, because I'm very sensitive to blood. I cut myself and
You
I go
pass
for
out.
my eye exam. I pass out.
Right.
So, but the phone is different. I don't get that emotional
Connection.
I don't know at all. So-
But isn't the emotional connection something very important as a 911 dispatcher? Just because, like, for me, if I'm calling you, I want to be reassured by you.
yes, but we don't get involved emotionally with the
Right.
person. It's more empathic. You understand their situation,
Right.
but you're not putting yourself in that situation.
Good. So there's a boundaries, is
Yeah.
what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
So when did you started? So now it's 2024 to
2014,
2014. Wow.
May 11th, May 2014.
9, 10, 11. 3 days after my birthday. May 8th is my birthday.
There you go.
So it's been 10 years now that you've been working as a 911 dispatcher and you love the job.
Yes.
Is it something that you would say that I'm so happy that I take on this job?
No regret. I applied and went through all of what I went through to get it. There's a 6 weeks training. There's a lot of by heart. You need to learn by heart. And I'm not by heart person. I
Yeah.
cannot remember dates and names of people because it doesn't make sense that your name is John and mine is Tamara. It makes no sense.
Right.
For me, I need to have something that makes sense.
Right.
So yeah, by heart was very, really hard. And there's a lot of by heart. Everything's by heart. So I'm glad I stick to it. There was a couple of times I was trying to give up,
Right.
but I didn't.
And those times were which situation? Like, when was the time that you felt like giving up on this job?
I think at the beginning when I started working night shifts,
Night shifts.
I'm not a night person.
I feel you. That's totally fine because
I
you
have
know
no
what?
problems with getting up at 5 in the morning, 4, 3. I'm going to think about it going to bed early. But during all night,
Not everyone
and
is
7
made
in a
for it.
row. Yeah, no,
7
that,
in a row.
yeah, that was tough.
Do you guys do 8 hours or 12-hour shifts?
We have both.
Mm.
I'm on 12 hours now, but we have also 8-hour shifts.
Okay.
So
I actually like 12-hour shifts. At
I do
least
too.
for my nursing shift. Like, I like 12-hour shift more
I
than
like the
8.
days off. I get more days off.
You get more days off than an 8-hour shift.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, night shift is not made for everyone. For example, me, I love night shift because there's no management at night.
Oh, we do have management at night. We have
Oh.
all the time.
Well, poor you. But for us, there's no management at night. I mean, we have someone in charge of the unit. I like it too at night because I can take my time more. There's less stress in a sense that people are calmer. I don't want to say calmer because when I say calmer, things just gets crazy. But things are a bit more slower than a day.
That is the problem. If it's slow, I fall asleep.
That's it.
And we cannot just take a walk. We're there with our headset that
Mhm.
it's wired to the computer.
Doesn't
Can
it-
I just... It's not like
Mhm.
police officer, let's say, well, I say police officer because I have an example, but when they're tired or, they're going to take a walk a little bit, they're going to go to the dépanneur, get a drink, like, even they're going to go around, open the window, take some fresh air, wake up. I cannot open the window.
You cannot because you have to stay there in your seat.
There's no window to open.
There's no.
I mean, there's windows, but you cannot open them.
No, you cannot open it. But do
No.
you guys have to completely always stay on that desk that you have?
You
Is
can
it-
stand up, you can sit down, you have your breaks. If you need to the bathroom, you can go to the bathroom, but
What do you guys do when there's nothing happening?
you read, you knit, you
You do whatever that keeps you busy.
play games.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
That must be really hard.
Spot it.
Yeah, that's really hard. I can feel that. Like the last thing I
And then
want.
the 4 a.m. hits. And from 4 to 7 seems like 10 hours.
Yeah, that's when I have like nausea. I feel like things are just like crumbling down and I just want to get to my bed, and it was really, really hard. But yeah, night shift is not for
No,
everybody.
not
Day shift is not for me though. It's something I hate so much. It's just so confusing. It's harsh for me. Okay, well, I am going to put you in a hot seat. The hot seat is all the questions that people from social media have asked you, and they wanted to know from someone who works as a 911 dispatcher. Are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
The first question that people had was, what's it like in a day to day as a 911 dispatcher?
Well, my shift starts at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So get up at 5, 5:15. I snooze a little bit. Yeah, so start at 7. We have a fall-in, which is meeting, tell what's going on during the day. Do we have some kind of protest? Do we have some kind of spectacle? Is there a match of hockey or something that can get more flow of the calls and stuff like that? And then we start a shift. You go to see where you sit. Are you on the dispatch part or are you into taking calls part? Because
Right.
it's not the same person that takes calls and dispatches as a different person in Montreal, not everywhere. Because Montreal is the third biggest 911 central in Canada.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have people taking calls and people dispatching. It can be 4 hours taking calls, 4 hours dispatching, 4 hours doing, let's say, lunches for dispatchers because they get
Oh, so
lunches and breaks. So
you guys make your lunch at work?
no, but well, we all have
Oh, you like for
lunch
lunches?
break. Yeah,
Okay,
but
okay.
you need somebody to replace a dispatcher so he can go eat. You cannot just leave.
Oh, like relieve me.
Yeah, because in all times there's 8 dispatchers
8 dispatchers.
in all times, minimum.
Okay.
And my day finishes at 7:30.
7:30. So it's a 12-hour shift.
12-hour shift.
12-hour shift.
Yeah.
Next question. How do you remain calm when people are calling 911 in their most stressful times?
We have questions that we need to ask. And those questions are there so we can help those people the most efficient way.
Right.
So when they call and start telling us what happened in 1993, yeah, what's happening today? We're going to cut them off. What's happening today? First of all, where you need help? Where are you? At home. Yeah. What is your address? Usually they say I'm at home. Yeah. What is the address? We're going to get to those first questions. Where, when,
The basics,
who,
the basic information.
yeah, what, and then we get the rest of the story. A lot of people give a lot of information when they call first without us asking anything.
Mhm.
You just need to listen because they're probably giving crucial information. So sometimes we're just going to listen to those first seconds, minutes. Then we're going to see, okay, that's nothing that is going on today. We do triage. So
Triage it. Yes.
yeah.
So you ask the basic first question first. What brought you here? Who are you?
First, where?
Right.
Whatever happened, if I don't know where it is, I cannot help you. Where?
Where? Your first.
What?
What? Okay.
So where, what's going on, where, the precise address or the intersection, what's going on,
Right.
and at the end, who are you?
Okay.
That's at the end.
Amazing. Now, our next question is, what are some things that you do to help you decompress after work?
After work, there's not much time after work because I get home at 8.
And you have
So,
kids.
I have kids. I put them to sleep. I take a long shower, just decompress and shower. I love taking shower. And I go to sleep early. I rarely drink. My boyfriend thinks I'm very, 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 very boring at that.
Yeah.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. So it's just taking a long shower, like peace and quiet in my car.
That's your zen.
That's my zen.
That's your decompression from
Yeah.
work. That's amazing. I'd say it's such a good decompressing too, because you just need that time off from like work and knowing that when you come back home you have kids to take care of. So you just stay in your car and just like take that time to just close your eyes for a bit and just think of nothing but be with yourself at that very, very specific moment.
Yeah.
I love that. Next question. What is the toughest call you've ever received?
There's a lot. During 10 years, there's a lot, but there's one in particular that got me like raised my
Your heartbeat. Goosebumps.
goosebumps, yes. Is that a mother came to see her son, I don't remember, son or daughter, and found them hanging.
Yeah.
And the scream on the phone, and there's nothing you can tell that person to make them feel better, to
Calm them
calm
down.
them down. There's no, ma'am, calm down. There's no that. There's no take a breather or something. No, this is nothing you can say to that person. There was just a horrible scream that,
Yeah, it hunts you too.
yeah.
It's, oh my God. I don't even know how I would handle that in that very
Usually we're very
situation.
fluent with our questions and we know what to do. And sometimes you're just cut off guard or you're like, oh shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I can't imagine how hard that must be for you being that person that's supposed to be resolving the situation, but there's no resolution because it's the end of it.
Mm.
And the only thing you could do is literally listen to the scream and the pain and the agony of it.
And that was my call. There's so many worse calls that my colleagues got. There's a lot of things going on in Montreal. So imagine all those people calling 911.
Right. Our next question is have you ever tried to follow up with any call that you attended? Had it ever made you curious what happened after a call?
All the time.
All the time.
We place the call, we do the card, and we can look what's going on.
Mhm.
The police officers dispatched. Are they on the way? Are they there? How they completed a call? Sometimes we don't have much information, but me as a dispatcher, I'm comfortable writing to the police officer directly in the car as a message and asking them what
happened?
not for all the calls, some that actually, let's say, got to me mentally.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I
What's
just
going on?
need that closure because you get so many calls, but never the closure. And that's sometimes hard when it's a call that actually affects you. Let's
Right.
say me, it's all the calls that involve young children.
Oh yeah, because you're a mom.
But before I had kids, I had no feeling for kids. Now, like,
Yeah.
now all the calls involving kids being mistreated and stuff like that by their parents, it's
Yeah.
getting to me really, really hard, and I cannot concentrate.
And
I
it's
need to know
hard.
these kids are safe.
Right.
Sometimes I just want to unplug and go myself, get them. And yeah, so I would write, if they don't put anything in the call, of course, they're going to write a report, but I don't get access to the reports.
Right.
I'm going to ask them,
Hmm. Just to make sure that
I need a
just-
closure.
a
I need
closure.
to like get my mind off this call
Mhm.
so I can concentrate on other calls. I'm going to do my job and do the other calls, but my mind's going to be set on that one.
It's gonna spiral into like thinking of what
Yeah.
happened in there until you got the answer to your question. Next question is it faster to just drive yourself to the hospital or wait for 911?
Sometimes, yes. A lot of times, yes.
So do you suggest for
All
people?
the headaches and vomiting and my leg hurts and
It's better for
stuff
them.
like that. We can transfer to the ambulance services. They can evaluate the situation with you and tell you what to do, but they're overwhelmed with calls.
Right.
Overwhelmed.
So what is one of the calls that you wish people don't make for 911?
For some of them, family drama and conflicts can end up badly. A lot.
Makes
when
sense.
it's also family, when it's a husband or a girlfriend and a boyfriend, when it's conjugal,
Conjugal.
that can get real bad real fast.
That is so true.
We cannot cancel those calls.
I
Police officer absolutely have to go and make sure that the both parties are okay. So there's always the gray area depending on each situation. But the people calling, they don't have electricity. Call the right party. Call Hydro-Québec. My phone is not working. Call your phone provider. I need a rendezvous for my family doctor. Go on Click Santé. I need a phone number of that. Go to the Yellow Pages. It's not 911. We're not information center. We're emergency center.
Next question. Does your job provide any kind of trauma counseling or mental health services for you?
Yes. If we need it, we can ask. I don't remember exactly how many sessions and exactly what is the name of the services. I never got to that yet, but we do have
You do
support if we need.
Has there ever a time that someone reached out just to say thank you?
Yes. Yes.
That's really nice.
There are not a lot
Okay.
that will call us to give a shit, but not a lot. But usually they call to say thanks to police officer that answered actually on their call physically. Rarely to tell us that we made a good job and that we helped them.
Well,
But it
thank you.
happens.
Well, thank you.
Rarely, but it does.
And
They will call us with Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
They
That's
will
good.
call us and they were like, yeah, there's a lot of calls coming in. Good thing, bye. You're taking a line for this.
Oh, that's so funny. But I just wanted to tell you on behalf of everyone else who haven't said thank you for what you do. Next question is, what is the most common problem or situation that people call for?
Noise complaints, family issues, frauds,
Frauds.
overdoses, people
yeah.
sick, just sick. I'm vomiting, and can you hear it? No, I don't need to hear it. I trust you that you're vomiting. But noise complaints, parking valuations, just yeah, those are the big calls that actually like drive us like, oh, they're not that often, like the big calls.
Right.
It's more
the basic stuff that people could have probably resolved, but they called for it.
It's a lot of calls that actually are not emergencies that get to the 911.
911. Oh, that's crazy. And lastly, to end this hot seat question, what is something you want to tell to your colleagues who are working as a 911 dispatcher and to those who want to be a 911 dispatcher in the future?
For my colleagues, that
For
they
your
are
colleagues.
the best. They have the best job ever. You might not think about it every day. That is the best one. But I mean, it's different every day. They're always there to help people. Even they don't think they're helping people. You help people every day.
Oh my God.
12 hours shift, you helped somebody.
Every hour, every minute.
So they're the best. For people that want to work as a 911 dispatcher, have the patience and you need to have guts for it. I mean, not everybody's cut for it. And you cannot be forced. You have it or you don't have it. It's a challenging job, but it's rewarding because I felt useful during my whole shift.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You guys have done so much for our community, for people who needs help. Even the little basic problems that people call for, you guys have helped them. You guys literally are our parents. It's like being a parent, right? They call you for the big stuff, for the small stuff, and it's not like you can just say, nope, not doing it. You still give them help. If someone calls you for something that is not supposed to be a 911 call, you still do give them a help. Like, yeah, you should be calling this number instead. That's still a help. And yeah, you guys give help every single minute and hour that you guys are on your shift. And I think people have to appreciate and see your job more because it's such a hard job. Just thinking about it, just our conversation together of you answering calls for like domestic violence, suicide, all of those things. It's not easy being that front person, being with that person at that very, very hard part of their life.
Yeah, and the people are not in the best behavior during their 911 calls. We've been treated all kinds of names.
And
you need to know to let it go and ignore it because those, let's say, majority of the people that call are hopeless. You're their last solution. They don't know where to call anymore. But yeah, it's not very pretty all the time.
It's not pretty all the time, and the job that we do is never going to be pretty, but we do it because we like it, we love it, we care about people, and we care about the job. And that's, I think, what I have been saying to everyone anyways, that these healthcare jobs that we have, we don't do this for the money because there's no money in here. The things that we do, the things that we suffer from, I would say suffer from because you suffer from it, you take the trauma with you. The pay is not enough for it. So I
Mm-mm.
don't think we do it for the pay. And
And
we
saying that we are the third biggest central in Canada, the biggest in Quebec, and we're less paid than the others.
exactly.
It's,
It's crazy.
yeah.
I don't know why we're living in this province specifically. Already Canada is underpaid, but being in Quebec at the same time makes you even more underpaid. And I think that's why a lot of us are leaving this province is because we're not just appreciated. Mostly the healthcare workers were so under appreciated, undervalued, and underpaid in this province. And it's hard to live like that. And I would never even thought that a 911 dispatcher would relate so much to us as nurses.
Oh my God. When I listen to your podcast and you have those or videos about at 3 o'clock in the morning when the patient, it's like, oh, I need to go or something like it's noon. And you're like, we have those
Those
patients
calls.
also that calls at 3 o'clock in the morning for something that happened in 1993. You're like, what made you call today at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Again, thank you so much for sitting down with me and sharing a life as a 911 dispatcher. And I think all of my besties are lucky to be able to listen to you, get educated, and more knowledgeable about what being a 911 dispatcher is like. So, thank you so much, Bessie, for coming into this podcast and listening to us. And I hope you guys learn a lot from Tamara. And again, thank you so much for your service and for all that you do. And tell every single one in the 911 dispatch team, we salute you guys for the things that you do and the things that you will be doing in the future. Without you guys, there's none of us. And we are lucky to have people like you guys who are ready to be there in the most crucial parts of our lives. Even the most basic stuff that we suffer from, you guys are there for us. Thank you again so much, Bessie. And make sure again that you download this episode and all other episodes, and make sure that you follow us and turn on notification on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and share it and tag me, Bessie. And don't forget to check out my merch at www.nursejohn.com, and you can sign up to the newsletter so that you can get a discount code. I will see you again, Bessie, for another week of a podcast next week. So tune in. Love you, Bessie. Stay caffeinated, medicated, and hydrated. Love you. Mwah.